What's up, guys? Just want to do a really quick initial impressions on the 2024 GPX FSE 250E. As the time of the filming of this video, I have not really seen anyone cover the 24 model. There's some really good reviews from, I believe, L-Cars and some other guys out there who've reviewed, 22 and 23 models, but I think I may be one of the very first to actually ride and put something on YouTube for the 24 model. Um, main changes from last model year that I can see are the electronic fuel injection, and I'm not sure that the entire engine is not a bit different. I've looked at some photos of 23-year models and older, and the cylinder head and valve cover does look a bit different, so I'm not sure if this is a completely new engine over other models. So can't confirm that, just something I've noticed in my quest at looking at bikes here. Um, just a couple things to note. The power on this bike is really good. If you've ridden an XR250R, I would say it probably has 20% more power. It is a bit odd because they only claim like 19 horsepower on the title, and I will say it's definitely has quite a bit more than that. So yeah, if you've ever ridden an old XR, this will be a nice little upgrade in power, and the suspension is very akin to a KTM. I'm pretty sure it's probably a KTM copy. My last bike was a 2014 KTM 300 two-stroke, and this bike feels very similar suspension wise. So liking it so far. Got about 25 miles on this bike, so you can't really give a full legitimate review in only 25 miles, just kind of initial impressions. But I was hunting and looking for a bike for a while, and no one had put anything out about the 24 model with the EFI yet, so I just kind of wanted to throw a quick little video together. Just if anybody else is on the fence, about the bike, I can kind of cover a couple little things, what I like and what I don't like. So without further ado, um, let's get into the stuff I do like. Power is fantastic for an air-cooled 250. Don't be expecting, like I said, my last bike was a 300 two-stroke. Those make 50 plus horsepower. I would assume this thing makes in the neighborhood of, 25 or maybe a bit more. It has a ton of torque. It is very tractor-like, kind of like an old Honda XR. Um, a couple other things I do like, the exhaust is very nice. I don't see any reason to ever upgrade, do any kind of like FMF or any other exhaust upgrade. I mean, it's nice looking stainless. I mean, I know where these bikes come from. Obviously, if you don't know, it's a Chinese bike, but everything on it is very nice. It does not feel cheap, which I was worried about, on buying a Chinese bike. Is just pieces and parts feeling cheap, and I have not felt that, at all in the 25 miles I've put on this thing. What do I not like? I would say the shifter. Let me run around to the other side here. The shifter's too far forward. I don't know I don't know who designed that or what they got the shift lever from, but it is too far forward. Unfortunately, I don't have a tape measure here, but I mean, I wear a size 12 boot, and I really have to shuffle my foot forward a lot to get to the peg. I mean, you can just see the gap there. So I'm going to be putting a different shift lever on it. My particular bike, I'm sure mileage may vary, has a rear brake squeal. It has almost went all the way away. I believe the rotor may have been slightly warped or something, just out of the box, but again, your mileage may vary. You don't expect things to be perfect, but you're always going to have a problem. It could be a $12,000 Husky or KTM and still have problems, but that's really the only thing issues wise with the bike. I'm sure a ton of people are probably wondering, and this is what I was wondering, the EFI, how is that? And I will say it is fantastic. It starts right up. The power delivery is it's super snappy. I like it, but it's not too punchy. It's not too much where it's going crazy. And I mean, keep in mind, it's an air-cooled 250, so it's not going to go nuts. The only thing I don't like about the EFI, and this is the only thing I really don't like about the entire bike other than the shift lever, second gear down a hill, the bike wants to idle up or almost drive itself. Like, I'm not sure if this thing has an idle air control motor in it, or I don't know how the EFI is set up, if it's like a car or not, where it has an idle air motor to pull some air in, but it's like it has too much air coming in at that time, because it kind of wants to drive itself a little bit in second gear. It doesn't really happen in any other gear coasting that I've noticed. It's just second, but it's something in 25 miles I've already gotten used to, and it's really not that big a deal. So Other things that questions I had were, can I plate the thing? And my MSO, which is my manufacturer certificate of origin, says a motorcycle on it. So in my state, that should not be an issue. I have about another week before I can take a trip to the DMV to actually plate it, but I don't see that being any issue at all. I should be able to just go right into the DMV and go there. It has everything on it for my state to be street legal. It's got the turn signals, it's got the tail light, it's got a headlight, it's got a horn, high and low beam headlight. It does have the sticker on it that I will go in here and let you guys read and do with it what you will. I will say mine may or may not disappear before I take it to get an inspection. So I will zoom in and hopefully you can read that. So, but I will say obviously you can read that, and the MSO does not say anything about off-road use only, so there should be no drama plating the thing for me. So I think, like I already said, suspension wise the thing feels just like a KTM, motor's like an XR250. It's just modern though, instead of buying some clapped out bike, like an old XR. Most of those things are 10-20 years old. For the price, you really can't beat it. I mean, for $4,600 you can barely get a 10-year-old Husky or KTM. So it's I'm liking it so far. So that's pretty much it. I won't ramble on anymore. Just hopefully this can help somebody out that is on the fence about buying one of these bikes. Kind of like I was. I just sort of rolled the dice on this thing and like, well, we'll see it, see what it does. If I don't like it, I'll sell it. But I love it so far. I really don't think, unless something just catastrophically happens and the thing blows up and GPX won't do anything about it, then, maybe I'll